want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Makakadash. Double honors to my apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to you, Arkham that's pushing his truth. This is the brother Yakulam from the GMS Boston camp, and out of Wara desire through the Spirit. This lesson is edifying as well as a faith builder. You know, what you just saw was a firm from Israel. You know, those gutter rats over there, 3D printing fake meat, protein that's taken from plants. You know, and it's another reminder what the book of Ezekiel 4:13 says, and the Lord said, even thus shall the children of Yasharallah eat their defiled bread among the Gentiles, whether I will drive them. You know, brother just recently posted an article showing you that 80 different harmful chemicals in McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's, and all that shit is just, all that is chicken that's been steroided up, hormoned up. You know, chicken nuggets is pink slime. Their French fries got like 20 something different ingredients instead of just potato oil and maybe a little bit of salt and pepper. But if you watch the movie Food, it goes to show you how wicked these devils are. But it also goes to show that, you know, the earth is not bearing these devils' fruit. And I'm going to get into those precepts showing you that the earth is defiled due to its rulership. And this is why this devil has to go. And it's one of the reasons, too, why the Lord said there would be no flesh to save. Because think about it, you know, when it goes into the whole thing with the GMOs, which stands for genetically modified organisms, those have an effect on someone's body. You're creating something in a lab and putting it in someone's body. When the Lord left, if the Lord told us to be fruitful and multiply, that means he left the resources for us to eat. But once again, due to the wicked being in power, these devils have hoarded up all the stuff for them, and they want to feed us fake, genetically modified food. And, you know, speaking on the Beyond Meat, because that's plant-based, your boy Billy the Goat, you know, the quote-unquote philanthropist that wants to help the world, but he's nothing but a fucking cancer and parasite. He has a high percentage in that, as well as him buying up the farmland. And here's a couple of articles, matter of fact, to back that. This is from MIT Technology. It says BG, rich nations should shift entirely to synthetic beef. But do you think they're eating synthetic beef? No. They're eating the best of the best. Why? Because this is their kingdom. Everybody else is getting scrapped. See, but we understand that. You know, the Lord said once again in Ezekiel 4:13 that we would eat the fouled bread. Not much abominable shit that they put inside the products that we use and the things that we know, and they change the label so that we don't even know that, you know, like the different things for pork. You know, you got red 40, red or fucking yellow. When they change the names around, you know, if you have to put organic on something, everything should be organic. But I remember years back, they showed you how Walmart, they said that organic was a billion dollar industry. Therefore, they was slapping that label on anything just to get the money. As a matter of fact, you had that rabbi, that Khazard, said that they put human meat in the McDonald's breakfast sausages and all type of man. Listen, they done found human fingers in Wendy's, mice in Wendy's, and you know, like I said, a brother posted an article showing you that there's 80 different harmful chemicals in these things. But you know, to show you how shit, man, you know, we don't know what good eating is. Even when you go to Whole Food and all these places, if you watch that food documentary, it shows you how the fast food companies, they control how 80% of stuff is grown, so they cater to them. They show you how they stick the tomatoes and some, I believe it's like a methadone, some type of gas that has them turn redder. And then you got these fruits that are seedless, you know, that's defiled bread. But going back into it, you know, how that article from MIT Technology said Bill Gates, rich nations should shift entirely to synthetic meat. And it says, Bill Gates, let them eat fake meat. So I lock you. BG thinks everyone should eat 100% synthetic beef as a way to fight climate change, but a look at his investment portfolio suggests he has an alternative agenda that is anything but eco-friendly. That's another form of killing you. Matter of fact, they show you in the Logan movie the X-Men movie, the way they stopped the mutants was they put something in the corn. And notice, there's a lot of corn-based products, and he was saying that how they put the chemicals in that, and that stopped the mutants from being born. So these devils, man, their tongue falls upon themselves even in their movies, and they're showing you that. And another article from our Popular Mechanics says that BG wants us to eat 100% synthetic beef. He has a point, and it makes me think back to, I forgot what artist it was. Oh, it was Lupe saying how when they try to entice you when they come to their house, they'll tell you that, we just made a burger from an animal that we only kill every 6 years. So that's the thing with these devils. Why do you think, you would think with them in power, when they meet up to these summits, they're talking about how to bring down population, how to hit people with a jump shot, instead of how can we feed the earth. Why? Because they hoarded up everything. And this is Micah 2:1. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds when the morning is light. They practice it because it is in the power of their hand. And that proves to what I just said. Here you got BG, a philanthropist. His wealth alone. Look at Jeff Bezos. Let's say there's a 100 million J or I forgot what they said. I think they said Elon Musk made 31 billion, I believe, in a matter of a couple of hours, and they said that he has more money than New Zealand or one of those countries. But imagine that they could stop world hunger, but see, they weren't set up for that. These devils weren't set up to that. That's why that scripture says, "Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds," funding all these things to make synthetic meat, synthetic beef. Why they eating the real stuff? And it says, when the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hand. Once again, the book of Job told us that the earth was given into the hands of the wicked. And they covet fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away. So they press a man in his house, even a man in his heritage. And when you look at what these devils did to the farmers, once again, if you watch the food, there's another documentary, how the way they took control of these farmers is they offered them money to basically house the chickens, do stuff like that, and then they put you in debt. They tell you that they you have to have a certain machinery updated. So right when you're about to pay off, you got to take out more loans, and then since you're under them, you have to grow stuff a certain kind of way. You can't reuse seed. They were persecuting farmers that was going around selling seed. And what did? They end up taking those farmlands from these farmers, and they ended up putting who they need to put in there to continue the bullshit that they do. And that whole thing with climate control, no, the earth is defiled because of its rulers. So they're trying to hide that behind, climate control. The earth is again. No, we keep drilling for the oil. You keep destroying the ocean. You keep digging for not just the earth's oil, but you go around dropping bombs, nuclear waste everywhere. The fucking buffalo's extinct. And that was just to get at Gad. All these animals are going extinct. You're feeding these animals all type of GMOs that yet we consume in our body. That's messing our body up. And these devils know because they want us to get sick so that they can make money off of Big Pharma. There was a brother that posted a lady that was showing how it was, I believe John D. Rockefeller, he was speaking, saying that we put poisonous things in their clothing, poisonous things in their food, poisonous things in the air. Isaiah 24:5, the earth also is defiled other than the inhabitants thereof. This is why this devil has to be taken out of power. This is why the scripture also says how the whole earth is going to be at rest and they're going to break forth singing. And it says, because they have transgressed the laws, they changed the ordinance and broken the everlasting covenant. And what's one of the laws? They don't honor the land Sabbath. And that's what it comes down to. I mentioned it earlier. If the Lord said he made a commandment to Adam to be fruitful and multiply, why would he not set us up with the proper things to sustain ourselves? That's what seed is for. You eat something, you plant the seed, a little bit more grows. Not a little bit more, but things grow. But these devils took the seeds. It's funny how they got all these vegetables, all these fruits that are seedless, but yet they have it's like a facility of storage in one of these cold countries that has all the seeds that are known to the earth. And this is the book of Leviticus 25:3, because these devils, they don't honor the land Sabbath. It says, 6 years thou shalt sow thy field, and 7 years thou shalt prune thy vineyard and gather in the fruit thereof. But in the seventh year shall be a Sabbath of rest unto the land, a Sabbath for the Lord. Once again, Isaiah 24:5, the earth is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the laws and changed the ordinance and broken the everlasting covenant. And it says, but in the seventh year shall be a Sabbath and a rest in a land, a Sabbath for the Lord. Thou shalt neither sow thy field nor prune thy vineyard. This earth doesn't want to bear these devils' fruit. This is why they have to run to the laboratory. It says, that which groweth of its own accord of thy harvest, thou shalt not reap, neither gather the grapes of thy vine undress, for it is a year of rest unto the land. And the scripture tells you how a thief moves. He doesn't even leave. He doesn't even leave a little bit of grapes. He doesn't leave nothing for no one. Not only does he heapeth unto him people, as the scripture says, he heapeth unto him all things. They want all the food. We're about to face a famine, not because of E, because we know that that the Lord controls everything. He's putting the spirit on these devils to what? To outdo his seeds. This is why these cargo ships aren't coming in to drop off food, but there's videos of them sending trucks to underground things and unloading. So they're stocking up on the food, but they're getting ready to starve people out. And it says, and the Sabbath of the land shall be meat for thee and for thy servant, and for thy maid, and for thy hired servant, and for thy stranger, and thy journey with thee. There's plenty to eat for people. Once again, the Lord left us with the resources, but because of those that are in power, they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinance, and broke the everlasting covenant. And it says, and thy cattle and thy beasts that are in thy land shall all the increase thereof be meat. Now, going back to Isaiah 24:6, once again, um, no. Isaiah 24:6, therefore have the curse devoured the earth, and they that dwell therein are desolate. Therefore the inhabitants of the earth are born, and few men left. The point being that therefore has the curse devoured the earth, and they that dwell therein are desolate. They listen, man. Matter of fact, when you go into Matthew 24 and 22, it says, and except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved. For the elect's sake, those days should be shortened. These devils soon is going to be hitting the store. They also tell you how they take leftover pieces of steak, and they mix it with pig's blood, and they put it back together. So now you got Frankenstein meat, but this 3D printed shit is Frankenstein meat. This stuff is harmful to our body. There's a lasting effect on it. Why do you think our people have diabetes and they have all these things? Because all these fast foods are pushed onto our people. Not just that, with the inflation, with everything, with the economy, it's cheaper to go to McDonald's and buy death than to go to the grocery store and pay for something to make dinner at your house. And this is how these devils set it up. Why? Because it's all a form of killing you. This is why BG invested in Beyond Meat. This is why they're pushing it at all these fast food places. They're pushing it at the major chain restaurants. They're pushing it at fancy restaurants. This is why the Lord has to shorten the days. This is one of the many reasons why the Lord has to shorten the days. This defiled bread would kill us if we was to be left here. And this is why 2 Peter 3:13 says, nevertheless, we, according to his promise, we look for new heavens and a new earth where dwell in righteousness. We ain't going to be dealing with no synthetic 3D printed stuff. We're going to have abundance of things. Fruits are going to grow to their natural sizes. There's not going to be no need to label a GMO. We're not going to be eating abominable things. Everything's going to be done and righteous. Like I said, no Beyond Meat, no GMO foods, no animals injected with all type of poisons to grow faster, or none of that, man. And we can't wait. We don't know what it is to have to eat good. I know some of us argument brothers, they eat it whole food and this and that. Listen, the Lord said wherever he was going to send us, our bread was defiled. We're just praying for, we're just paying more money for shit that probably ain't get as much pesticides, but it's still defiled. So I hope this lesson was edifying, and I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash. Double honor to my apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to you, Arkin that's pushing this truth. Till next time, Yasharala. Shalom.